Good morning and greetings on this rather misty Sunday morning. It is Sunday, what is the date? Sunday the 11th of July. And I've been thinking since I spoke to you yesterday about how we move forward in our process while being faced with the biggest increase in cases in our area that we've had during the whole pandemic, and the fact that we have more cases now in this ward, which covers most of our parishes, than we've had at any time during the pandemic. And I think that what I'm going to propose to everyone, and I'm sending this out to members of the congregation and would like your feedback, is that we continue with exactly the same pattern, our Sunday service every Sunday, but make no changes to it. We don't introduce singing or anything like that at the moment, and that we run until the end of this month, and then I take stock again and make some suggestions to the wardens and to the rest of us. So I think my idea is we remain steady as we go through all of July, and can feel then that we'll have some idea of how things are going by the end of the month, and then take a decision about how we work during August. That's my initial thought, and I would appreciate people in our benefice in Beadle, in Ellingham, in Northumberland, coming back to me on this message if you feel very strongly about any of it. I'm going to say this in the two churches where I am today, at Beadle and at Northumberland, and I'm sending this message to all the people at Ellingham as well. Today we look at a very tricky gospel passage. It's the horrible account of the beheading of John the Baptist. And here we have the evil that human beings can be led into. Herod, a seeker after power, a wheeler and a dealer, a man who above all sought to get what he wanted, both in his personal life and as a politician, and did everything he could to ensure it. And today he comes sort of unstuck, not to his own ruin, but to the ruin of someone else. He's trapped by the plottings of his wife and his daughter into the beheading of John the Baptist. He doesn't want to do it because he believes in one way or another that John the Baptist is a significant holy figure who does challenge him. But at the same time, Herod feels he understands and is drawn to this message. But he's trapped by this conspiracy into John's death. And when we see suffering like this, we're tempted to say, where is God in all this? Well, first of all, if you look at the passage of St. Mark surrounding this, I was very interested to read an article by a man called Ian Paul this week. And he reminds us that before this, Jesus is sending out disciples and apostles to do the work of God, and after it, he's drawing them together. So all of this is framed in the fact that God's work is continuing. God's love and care is being proclaimed. There is no end to that. But within it, we encounter the reality of evil. And as Christians, we cannot escape that. There are still Christians who are facing persecution and death. A couple of years ago, a group of Coptic Christians were executed by a fanatical Islamic group in North Africa, and their death was released on film as a statement of the power of this group. But the families of those martyrs actually said, thank you to the people who've done it, released the film that is, because they heard right until the very end their Christian family proclaiming their faith in God. 20 names were released, and then it was realised that 21 people had been executed, and some thought was given to this final figure. His name was Matthew. He was from Ghana rather than being a native Copt and Egyptian. And it said that he had not been originally a Christian, but he'd seen the life and witness of these Coptic Christians and had professed faith alongside them, knowing that it would lead to his martyrdom. That's a powerful picture of someone who, in the face of evil, is touched by God's presence and love. We're fortunate not to have to face such situations. We pray for those who are, but we acknowledge that even in these horrors, these things that come as a result of human evil and human weakness, we are never let go of by God's love and God's presence. May God bless us all.